Hello, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited to be recording the podcast today, the official first Religious Detox podcast.
This is the first official.
I'm excited, man.
Congratulations. Yeah, man.
How was
Very
your?
good. Very good.
What's up?
I said, very good, man. You put in a lot of hard work and time and effort, and look at us now.
I know we're
Huh?
nothing gonna hold us back.
Nothing.
Yeah, man. How was your day? You
Good.
you went to work, right?
I did.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I work in the medical field, and it's quite a busy industry. Uh, Considering we're dealing with COVID, and I
yeah.
um, I have the pleasure of taking care of some patients during this pandemic, and yeah, so I deal with a lot of patients that are really struggling, and I have the honor and the pleasure to try to uplift their spirits and help them out, and try to get a laugh out of it. So,
Yeah,
um,
that's
but
awesome,
yeah, my
man.
day was busy but good. How about
Nice,
yours?
nice.
Yeah. What did your day entail?
This the same. I was off for my day job today, and so which that's usually manual labor, which is fun, which I really enjoy. Got to work, work some aggression out, stay
Yeah,
fit.
that's right.
Uh, and so today I did some administration things. Ended up opening a couple more accounts to make Religious Detox a little more official. So that way we can actually be on several podcast platforms other than just streaming on YouTube and Twitch and whatnot. So I did that, and then I'm helping out the Jeancourt blog
Mhm.
project,
Yeah.
and I'm going to be working on making electronic press kits and just some other fun graphic things. And so I did some research on electronic press kits and just different things I can do in Adobe to
Yeah.
really make them fun because uh, things have changed since the last time I was making press kits. Like which was like 2005 was the last
Oh,
time. Like I kind of like right up until MySpace, and then that kind of made it a little less necessary because you could just link to those pages, and
hmm,
and so yeah.
cool.
So yeah, that's what I did today.
Oh, it sounds like
N-
you had a very productive day.
I did. I did. Went for a walk and did some meditating and thinking. Yeah, listened to some Mad Lib.
Oh,
The
yes.
Oh man, dude. You have you heard the his Blue Note album?
No,
Uh,
I haven't.
he samples a whole Blue Note catalog. The Blue Note, the Blue Note
Yes. Yeah. I
jazz.
used to
Okay.
have it.
Oh
Well, I
man.
didn't have the whole catalog, but I had actually I had some Blue Note break beats on vinyl.
Oh man.
Yeah. It was beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I When I used to dig for records,
Hmm.
anytime I saw a Blue Note record, like
Oh, yeah.
I would grab it, which
A
wasn't
must.
often, but I do have a uh, few old Blue Note records. But yeah, I was listening to Madlib's the Blue Note album that he did, where he like did his thing with
Yeah.
a bunch of old Blue Note records. It's great. If you have Prime, the album's on the Amazon Music
Okay. What
thing.
year was that released? Do you know? Do you have an idea? A guesstimate?
Early 2000s, I think.
Okay.
Like before 2010.
Okay. So yeah,
The Some of the songs used to play at American Eagle when I worked at American Eagle, and they would have those like
really.
yeah. There was actually a point in like '05, '04, like '06 where American Eagle actually used to play some kind of cool music. Like
Hmm.
they would play some like Mad Lib songs. They would play Chaos stuff. He was kind of popular back in the day. Um, and then yeah, they were played kind of weird, cool underground music, and then it kind of changed a little bit to more poppy stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, at one point, they actually played some really cool stuff.
Interesting. I didn't know that, but now I know.
Yeah, the
Okay,
more
going
you
back to
know.
Madlib.
What's up?
So Madlib, did
Yeah.
he not have, or did he not collaborate with JD,
Yes.
the infamous beat maker? I mean, he was
Yeah. Yeah. Um.
like no other producer. I mean, I read some articles online and
Mhm.
magazines, and he was a well-respected hip hop producer, and I mean, you listen to his music, and you know why,
Yeah.
because when he
Definitely.
sounded like him, and now you've got producers that are still trying to mimic his
Yeah.
style, even
Exactly.
myself, yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And but yeah, Madlib. He's one of my favorite producers. I like instantly liked his stuff. Quasimodo. like
yes,
I
oh my
love
gosh,
Quasimodo, man.
me
That
too,
it is so funny.
yes,
Like and I love the story behind it too, where he's like he just made it to make himself laugh, and he
right.
was like nobody's gonna like this shit, and then like like it's like I think Stone's Throw made him put it out, or it might not be that, but somebody like kind of talked him into putting it out, and
Yeah, it's
I'm
probably
so glad they did.
Peanut Butter Wolf.
Oh yeah, it could be because
Yeah.
yeah, Peanut Butter
Isn't
Wolf.
he
I
the
love him.
president?
What's that? Is he?
Isn't Peanut Butter the president of Stone's Throw? I don't know who
Oh,
is.
I don't. I'm not for sure.
No, gosh, who's the other guy? Anyway, I had a Ray B album by another dude that he was a big collector in vinyl, and I think he or Peanut Butter, or one of the two, or both of them.
Yeah, nice. The yeah, Peanut Butter Wolf puts out some really cool stuff. The I like that Chrome Children album he did with Adult Swim
Mm-hmm.
several years back. That was a really good like collab. Kind of introduced me to some cool MCs like Percy P and I'm not anyway. So yeah, just some other really cool artists that I would have never really like listened to like had it not been through there. So yeah, definitely a lot of cool stuff. The
They have a outstanding podcast, but at least they used to.
oh
Step
the
through.
Stone's Throw. Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool. I may have to.
I download. I
I'm,
download.
I
I download.
download.
You can tell it's toward the end of the day.
Right. It
I'm
it
slurring my words.
and
Uh,
uh, and it's later where you're at. I get the
it
luxury of
is.
being all the way out on the West Coast, so it's still not too bad for me. The well, I guess speaking of podcasts and transition,
Yes.
we have one. We are on one. It's it's our very own religious detox. It is yeah, I guess yeah, let's get into it, man. Religious detox,
Good.
what is it? Uh you know, I think, religious detox kind of where, you know, coming with it just a break from organized religion and a seeking of true spirituality, trying to find answers and fellowship. Um, yeah,
Absolutely agree. It is. It's one of those things where um, two guys get together and they find that it's very liberating to, set apart from the dogmatic, institutional church and theology that we were taught. I think we have similar backgrounds
Hmm.
to some degree. We both have a Christian background. And, again, I want to be upfront about this. This is not a podcast where we're trying to break you from your faith or your religion or anything
Exactly.
like that. That's really not the
No.
motive here. It's conversational. It's fun, entertaining, educational. This is something that Ryan and I have been pretty passionate about, and this is uh, something that we want everyone to participate to some degree. If you feel like you have something to mention about your spiritual experience or religious background, hey, uh, we're open.
Oh man, I'm you. You said that so well. Yeah. The um,
Really,
no judgment. It's
no judgment.
no
Thank you.
judgment. It's not. You know, yeah, like you're saying up front. This is not a place. We are not trying to change your mind. I do not want to get you to believe what I believe, or I do not want to get anyone to believe what I believe. It is between each individual person and what goes on in between their ears and down to their heart.
Yes,
And I don't want anyone to change their mind, but I do want to provide a place of learning and understanding
yes,
and friendship
absolutely.
and just discussion, because one thing that I've become abundantly clear of on my journey and is that the more you know, the less you know, and the more you need to learn. In because you find something out, and then you're like, oh man, it all leads down different ways and opens up different paths of knowledge, and without fellowship and without seeking out people, uh, you can't learn, because I want to know what you have to say, because I am here to learn and I want to discuss, because I love talking about the possibilities of the universe and just the plight of man and the struggles that we all go through trying to figure out what we're doing.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, it's
That was well said.
thank you. The
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
you know
and a key word you mentioned fellowship,
right.
right? You and I
It's
both agree that this is the place. We want to provide a platform for people to come and talk openly,
mm-hmm.
freely. Like we said, it's not judgmental or anything. And
No.
uh, yeah,
it, and
just learning
it's
people's backgrounds and experiences in life.
yes, everyone is fascinating, honestly, because each person has if you really listen, has a different story and has something to tell,
Yeah,
and a piece that you can take from it, and just learning all about that and people, and with the fellowship, which is one of the things that we want to accomplish with religious detox, is opening up the religious detox fellowship, and having a place um, where the whole community can come together, and where we can uh, share about our lives, as just community building, and networking, and hopefully, a place to find lasting friendships, and
yes,
so that's just some of the future goals. I also would like to get into studying different scripts and texts and things like the Kabbalion and the Egyptian Book of the Dead and the other Bible, all of the different books of the Bible that were left out and didn't get put in, and going into different
Right.
things like that. Also future fun goals is definitely bring in other people to interview, and so that way we can share and showcase other people's stories.
Exactly. And that's really exciting. You and I
Yes.
have talked, we've had many conversations. We've, brought up some people that we think it would be really intriguing to, interview and talk to and bring on the show. So
Get
just
excited.
hang on. It's going to get better and better.
Yes. And it's just so cool, like to see all of this unfold. Having faith in ourselves that we have, the skill sets and the talents and the abilities and the personality and the drive to pull something like this together, and to bring a community together for learning, to have
Yeah.
that faith in ourselves, not necessarily attached to religion,
Mm-hmm.
because faith, it's I'll pull the if I can get my mouse to work.
You're going to pull a smooth one. I can
Yeah, like,
see
so
the look on
faith
your face.
with you know it's trust or confidence in someone or something, you know
Mm-hmm.
although faith oftentimes gets steered into strictly religious connotations, like a strong belief in God, or doctrines, or religion, or spiritual apprehension, rather than
Mm-hmm.
proof. And um, not speaking for myself, like growing up Christian, and I am no longer a practicing Christian, which is it's so weird to say, because I don't like the term "I've lost faith," because
Mm-hmm.
I haven't lost faith. I just don't believe in the infrastructure of Christianity, like as a organization and structure. Like, it's not that I don't have faith, uh, because I just don't accept the religious dogma, and it, so that's not anything for anyone. That's just how I believe,
Yeah, that's your
and
story.
yeah,
And
and I want
yeah.
I want you to share yours, everyone. Because that's my journey and my story. It's for the sake of definitions, I guess the closest thing to explain my belief system would be agnostic.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know. I'm open to it. I love it. I love mysteries. I love
Yeah.
spiritualism. I love the possibility of something amazing and supernatural happening. Like I enjoy the thought of that. Do I necessarily believe it? No. Like, I don't. It's but it's fun.
It's an adventure.
you know and so
Depending on which recreational, never mind.
right. Faith is more than just a Limp Bizkit song.
Good one.
Right.
Yes, good one. So yeah, obviously we are discussing the topic faith, and we would like to know what other people think.
Yeah.
Um,
Please comment on the video down below. Also, like, we didn't say that before, but
Yeah.
Yes, we definitely want to hear what you guys think about anything we talk about. So please leave comments. Start the dialogue.
Yes. That is
And
crucial.
yeah,
And that's why we're doing this, at least partially.
I have
So
faith that people are going to leave comments.
I have
And
faith that someone will donate $1,000 tonight. We will see this live. I'm just kidding. That's radical faith. That's a
right.
Pentecostal faith.
I'll go.
God. Wow, bro.
I
This
have a
is good.
poisonous snake right here.
Oh my gosh, Ryan. No way. I was just about to say something about a snake. I kid you not. I was going to say,
Uh,
this is so random, bro, but the snake handlers, that
yeah,
religion. And here you say something about a snake. That's too
it's
weird.
yeah,
That
synchronicity.
must be the god of snake. I
Yeah,
don't know, man.
the snake god was in
Something.
the
There's something
ether.
to it.
He was
That might be a religion we don't know about.
well, there is Abraxas, the chicken snake god. The it well that'll be a thing for
That's
but yeah,
another episode.
that's another episode for another time. But Abraxas, the chicken snake god, Google it if
Okay.
you want to look it up beforehand. But yeah, that would be a definitely a fun thing to go into. It's just yeah, different religions and beliefs and like especially ancient religions
Mhm.
and things that those things are fascinating to me.
It is fascinating. Um, I want to say that the Hindu religion is one of the oldest. I just
Okay.
can't recall. No, I recall the name, but as far as pronouncing, no, I don't think I would do it justice.
Yeah, I'm not always good at
But it's
pronouncing like
and I
American
find
English
it
words.
strange that there was something written prior to the Old Testament. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
Like that's odd.
I don't the now I guess
Well, no,
cuz
I'm kind of being sarcastic, but
okay,
yet
yeah,
I am being.
I thought you were being sarcastic like for yeah. The it's yeah, it's just so yeah, something was written
There
before
were,
the Old Testament.
yeah, many
It
different religions before,
yeah.
prior. Yeah,
And some say that some of the Old Testament stories are modeled exactly beat for beat, character for character, event for
hmm
event, almost exactly like some of the older scripts that were written.
that's what I've researched and discovered as well. A lot of mythology has been incorporated.
Hmm.
Whoever wrote the Old Testament and New Testament, they were crafty writers to some degree, some of the stuff. But I don't know if they really wrote true historical things.
Yeah.
But
It,
they had some really weird stories too. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
yeah. The
Yeah, some, really some odd ones.
yeah, there are
Jacob's Ladder.
everything the you know that Moses went through, the exile from Egypt, encountering a burning bush, like that whole story is definitely odd. Some of the
Yeah, it
judges,
is odd. Hey,
like yes,
oh yeah, I was just gonna make a side note comment. So, considering the Old Testament, where in Genesis you have the first recorded miracle recorded, right? Like creation, man.
Right.
Okay. And then there's some recorded, I guess you would call them miracles in the Old Testament. And then again, there were miracles in the New Testament, like Jesus performed miracles. But I find it strange and odd that there's this pause button that Yahweh does with the miracles. And then
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything lately in my lifetime. You
Uh,
know, what's
yeah.
even more strange? Why didn't Jesus perform a miracle that would be noticeable today?
That we could still
You know what I mean?
physically see.
Yeah,
Like,
that we, yeah, right. That would be
yeah.
sustained to,
If
well,
he would
this
have
is proof, this is
literally
evidence.
thrown a mountain into the sea, we would still see that today.
Yeah,
Like when, they'd be like,
right.
see that mountain that's got, yeah, Jesus, he threw
Yeah.
that something right into the sea. And then it would be very
Yeah.
easy to point to the historical person of Jesus. And so, because, he said it was possible.
Right. That's what it
So,
says.
uh, that'd be pretty awesome.
And with something like that, that would have really taken care of the upcoming atheist.
Yeah.
So, if he would have thought ahead and really did that, then there would
Uh,
be no atheists. It's like, okay, well, that's proof enough.
Okay, kind of going back to Adam and Eve. It's been hitting me in the back of the
Okay.
like, where did Cain and Abel's wives come from? Were they like banging Eve? Were
Ooh.
they their sisters? Like, where did all these people come from? Like, like, especially when Cain ended up after killing Abel and then having to hide from,
Mhm.
like, where did all those other people come from?
That's a mystery to me.
If it
I
was
don't know.
because it lists out the genealogy of the Adam and Eve family, and
Right.
so where are the wives and everything? I actually kind of read the creation story as sort of a evolution poem, like because to me nothing kind of says like evolution coming out of the primordial ooze. Not necessarily that we evolved from like monkeys or another species, but we are a species
Hmm.
that has evolved. Not that we evolved
Right.
out of another. But
Yeah.
nothing says romantically uh, evolution like God created us out of the dirt of the earth. Like to me that's kind of like a romantic way of saying like out of the depths of the primordial ooze, the mole creature that we were, like crawled out and then we eventually became sentient. And so
Okay. Yeah.
that's kind of like a
That's
way
kind
that
of cool.
I've kind of saw that because even if you look at Revelation, when it talks about after the apocalypse and when we all come back to life, like
Hmm.
like there's an evolution, there's a species evolution, like technically,
Hmm.
because we're alive again, but it's like we've grown out of ourselves and are these new beings, where we don't really recognize, we're not necessarily physically the beings that we were, so it's like another. And so I see that kind of listed in, or like mentioned in the Bible. Not that we're not special sentient
Hmm.
beings, but a possibility is the creation myth is a romantic way of saying, we evolved out of the dirt of the earth.
Yeah. That's a good take on that.
And
Interesting.
and so cuz the Bible's allegorious. Like it's
Yeah.
not like it's all allegories and like you got to decode it from historical context and
So if you call yourself a fundamental Christian, that means, and this I'm saying this in all honesty, there's a question. Does that
yeah.
mean you literally take the Bible as it? Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
thought.
That's
Yeah,
it's
but there are Christians that
that
don't,
literally
correct?
yes, there are some Christians that do take the Bible as allegories, that not
Yeah,
everything is necessarily literal, but it is all true.
I find that to be very confusing.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to talk to someone who's on that path,
Who
who
believes
who
that
believes or who claims professes Christianity but doesn't take things literal.
right.
That's
The
interesting.
before I was well, my whole I went through a whole cycle of of things before where I am now. I was actually like would have considered myself atheist for a while, but
Mm-hmm.
before that, I was one of the Christians that didn't necessarily believe that everything in the Bible was literal, that a lot of it was allegories
Okay.
or and a lot of metaphors and just different, you know, examples. So I didn't necessarily believe it was all factual.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, we don't even get current autobiographies right. You know,
Yeah.
the inspired by real events movies are often wildly inaccurate at
True.
several, points, where they just try to hit the theme of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, so it was kind of there. And then I went to just not believing at all. And then circle back around to I really don't know.
That's a
And
good position.
yeah. And not only do I not know, I don't necessarily care.
Yeah.
Like um about a deity.
Mm-hmm.
It's not yeah, I'm not concerned,
Well,
because if there is this loving God that there is, then well, I mean, if there is a judge creator like there is supposed to be, like
yeah.
even if you are a Christian, who is really to say that once you die and get up there to judgment, even if you did everything right, and God
Mm-hmm.
could be like, "No, man, you got to go." And like you can't argue with it, you know?
Right.
And so that's sort of like you just got to be what, you going to argue with God like if it is real? And so but I don't believe there is a judge at the end.
No,
No,
we are the
like
judge.
we are the judge. Yes. Just like Grover at the end of the book, we
Mm-hmm.
are the monster in the mirror at the end of the book.
I see that. Yeah.
It's yeah.
That'll preach, Pastor.
Oh, it'd be yeah, that
Well,
was
that's something else that you and I have discussed as well. Some church stories. Oh
yes.
yes, I've got some
Oh,
really good church stories for you.
in a church where that was sort of centered around us actually meeting. Which
Yeah, it
yes,
was.
that might okay. John and I met several years ago, a few lifetimes ago, for me. John and I met actually through his wife. It was when I was working at the mall, and she came in. I was trying to sell her jeans, and like I was always talking about how I was a hip hop artist. I was a Christian hip hop artist and rapper, and she was like, "Oh yeah, you need to meet my husband." And I did, and we started playing music together, and got involved very heavily at uh, a church out in Tennessee. You know, it had it was a really cool church. I like
It was. They had a
the
lot going on. It was progressive. I mean, for a
oh
small
yeah,
town like,
a little
I mean,
too progressive.
yeah. Would you like to expand on that?
Yeah. We'll
No, that's
tune
good.
in next time on Religious Detox.
We'll keep you on the edge of your seats, folks.
Yeah,
Just you wait.
it was a little too progressive, but
Yeah.
it had a lot of really good things going for it. The coffee shop that they had provided a great outlet. Um,
Hey, we
I
performed there.
I yeah, I
Did we
performed
ever have
there.
any pictures?
I don't have any of us
Okay.
on
I'm
there.
surprised Jenny didn't take any of us while we were performing. I just thought about that today.
Ask
Maybe we do have some. I'll ask her.
Jenny.
Yeah.
Because that would be awesome. I
That would
would.
be so cool.
Oh, that would be. I hope. I really ask her. I really hope
Yeah.
she has some pictures of us performing
Me too.
from back in the day,
Yeah.
but yeah, it had a it was a really cool spot. The had a good worship program.
Mm-hmm.
They the college I helped out with the college and the youth group like different times, but it was a cool place.
Yeah, it
And
was.
so
We really enjoyed ourselves, when the time that we were there, which we stayed at the church for at least 3 years,
yeah,
not longer.
you were there before me and a little after. I ended up going on tour and then didn't go back.
Yeah.
The
Good. It
tune
really
in
went
next
downhill.
time to find out
Jesus left the
why.
building, let me tell you, bro.
Yeah, it's cuz it had gotten weird
Yeah.
right before I left, which is one of the reasons why I decided not to come back after I got back off of tour from yeah. And so the yeah, religion, it's
Faith, church, doctrine,
it's
a lot of aspects.
yeah, I feel more free now.
Oh, I do too.
The and just the false sense of wrong or sin, the false concept of sin. Like, I don't necessarily believe in that anymore. I do think that people do messed up things, and there
Oh
is
yeah.
a sense of right and wrong, and but a lot of things that I really was led to believe were sins and just unforgivable, like, just aren't.
Yeah. I know,
And
like the dreadful blasphemy, I don't want to blaspheme the Holy Spirit. That was always like in the back of my head, like, what if I do? That's
yeah,
the one unforgivable sin, I'm
and
destined for hell.
I was always afraid of the sins that I didn't know I was committing.
Yeah, yeah.
Which
The
was, those were,
the thinking
you
and
better pray, because
subconscious sins.
you're sinning all the time and you don't even know it,
Yeah,
like constantly.
unconscious sins. That's
Unconscious
the yeah,
sins, just all day.
yeah.
You are such a
Right.
POS that the oh
Yeah.
man, it's oh man,
Gosh, just so many freaking levels of
it messed me
screwed
up
upness.
psychologically.
It did
Like
me too in a lot of
honestly,
ways.
it it really that environment, and just the constant approval I tried to get for nothing
Right.
to
Yeah.
remain in the environment. It just yeah, a lot of the anxiety and everything, like my anxiety problems and everything, it didn't go away until I just let all of those things go,
Hmm.
and just realize that,
Freedom. Wow.
freedom,
Yeah.
and I need to be all right for me,
Yes.
you know like
Yeah.
there's nothing that is really going to make me happy. Like if you're not happy now, you're not going to be happy with everything, and you're not going to be happy with nothing. And so just seeking that place of okay, and just sort of just being free of
Hmm.
the imagined judgment of you know freedom,
Yeah. You
freedom
know,
in
I
yourself.
just had this. I just had this epiphany.
Mhm.
It seems to me that with Christianity, and maybe this could be the same with other religions, but if you're in this place where you're believing in this deity and you go into prayer, correct me if I'm wrong, but it almost seems like a psychological thing that you exercise that you do. Like, okay, so I'm praying and I'm like confessing my sins, or I'm burdened about something. That's therapeutic, actually.
Right,
Like in counseling.
right.
So it's almost like I understand it now, even even though I'm not a believer. I kind of understand how maybe I had this peace, how I could obtain peace going through those steps. Does that make sense? I think I could
Yeah,
explain this a little bit better.
because it's all about self growth and self improvement. And when you are
Right.
recognizing things that you may have done wrong, how you were
Yeah.
rude or mean, and you
Hmm.
want to grow and learn. For an example, for me, of something I am definitely not proud of, um, I like I have say horrible things to customer service people sometimes
Yeah.
when I'm on the phone, and just depending on the situation, uh, it I shouldn't be losing my cool, you know, like that,
Right.
and like because they don't want to be there, I don't want to be there, and it doesn't, and so I need to work on that for myself, because I would like to be a better, kinder person, able to roll through all situations as, seemingly unbothered as possible, you know,
Hmm.
just to be able to navigate it, because you can't accomplish anything being angry, and so
Right.
which a peace and a centeredness is something that I constantly strive for, and to just try to keep myself at a place where I can remain centered, which involves things like
Energy.
meditating, exercising,
Hmm. Hmm.
being creative, the
Right.
just doing things that my soul tells me I really need to be doing, which is,
Yeah.
taking care of my physical body, my head, and my heart, and,
Hmm.
and you know, and doing it and trying to improve. So yes, the prayers and going through those motions, they can help bring about, self actualization and self reflection,
Yes.
which is something that more people need to do, myself
Hmm.
included. Like, I need to reflect more, and which is why I like meditating. uh, Um, which is, I guess, technically a form of prayer.
Hmm.
Um, you know, and I still, I guess, technically pray, but I more think of it as sending energy to the universe as a collective, um, because I feel that we are all one.
Hmm.
Um, you know, all of it. Like, we are, however to fully describe that, the we are all one. There's a connection, like the force is in all of us, and it surrounds us and binds us. The and I mean, even as in I Heart Huckabees, with all that, when they were that existential therapy session.
Hmm.
But it's kind of true in a way. Like, it's like we're one. You and I are one. I'm one with this microphone stand, this desk, like the energy out in the world, the matter that is there on like some like energy level in the universe. We're there, and you know, and I think, um nothing proves it more than by us actually being in it together, in this time and space, in this space time.
Hmm.
you know
Agreed. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's why we're doing this. It's our time. You
it
know,
Yes.
it's it is time for us to embrace our gifts, and I feel like this is our purpose at this point in time of our lives.
Right.
Um,
And we
we have
never.
similar. You and I have similar gifts and talents,
Yes.
and some we don't, and
Right.
that's cool.
And which is why I think, us as a team works very
Yeah.
well. And because get ready, people. Whether you want it or not, you're going to be hearing music by John and myself
That's right.
soon. So you're going to get to hear the Religious Detox, the band, as well. We're not only a podcast, we're also a band.
Funny you
It's
mentioned us playing music. I had this like little vision of us today earlier, and we were jamming,
nice.
but it wasn't hip hop, man. But
Okay.
it was really cool.
It
We were like we were in our vein.
Yeah. I'm
We
like
were we
I'm
were in
down.
it, man.
Cuz
Yeah.
there's yeah, just writing. My thing with music, like, especially writing, and arranging,
Hmm.
is just really listening to, I guess the best way I can describe it is like when I'm working with music, like I'm tapping into something else, like I can't even really explain. Like when I'm listening to it, and feeling all of the parts and everything like that, I like to let the music and the songs, as well as even the lyrics and the things I say, just come kind of out of the ether, and
Hmm.
so they naturally form themselves, uh how they're supposed to be, and good, bad, or indifferent. um I love tapping into that, and so it's not necessarily about a genre or a style or anything. It's
That's a good point.
because I do some weird indie rock stuff, and it kind of sounds like my hip hop music still.
Yeah.
You know, there's still where you're like, when you listen to it, it's like, okay, yeah, it's the same rapper. He's just doing a weird indie, like indie music thing, you know. And so
Yeah.
um I'm excited to create as many different sounds as possible, because there are so many
Absolutely.
sounds in combinations of sounds to come together. Um, and when I say sounds, I'm including everything from instruments to instruments like guitar, bass, drums, keyboards, to effects, and plugins, because there are a lot of really cool electronic sounds that you can put on things. I'm also talking about different MIDI and electronic sounds. Um, I love doing things with sampling. I can't wait to start playing, you know, some jammed out riffs and then chopping those up, you know, and us making some
And rearranging.
samples. Yeah, and us making some
Yeah.
sampling our own music, which is
Material. Yeah.
one of the albums that I have, which it's mostly what I did, was sample myself playing instruments or my friends playing instruments, and then I would make my own thing, put everything together and throw it out, and or not throw it out, but put it all together and put it out, and
Right.
and so yeah, music is another fun fun goal
It's
that
a
we
third
definitely
language.
want
Right.
to accomplish with this, and the theme song is, John, you did that. We were when I was putting everything together, send a bunch of backlog of beats. I was, listening through it. I was like, I like this one. That's kind of got the aesthetic that we're going for. Which
Yeah.
was,
It
which is
does.
awesome, because um saved some time. Because we
Yeah.
didn't have to come up with a theme
I
song,
like that.
which is cool, because I got to focus on other things, like graphics, and getting stuff set up, and and you get to focus on doing research and posting and things like that. So it's all working out amazing, and I'm very excited for the future. I'm very excited to get to know everyone out there that's listening to us. I'm very excited to hear about people that aren't Christians, that are of different religions, because I really want to know what it's like growing up with a different religion that's not Christianity. What
Hmm.
because I've been watching some very fascinating interviews, about one about Jehovah's Witness, like a former Jehovah's Witness, that was very interesting. So I
I've got a good friend who's a Jehovah's Witness, and we talk frequently.
currently a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be
He's a little bit older
definitely.
than me, and yeah, he's trying to convert me. I feel, but
Uh,
he still talks to me, and I
yeah,
talk to him. Yeah, we get along.
that could be
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah.
I
He's a sharp
definitely,
guy.
because like we stated at the beginning, we're not here to change anyone's mind. I don't want
No.
anyone to lose whatever faith or belief they have. I don't. That's not the point. The point
No. It's not the
is to
goal at
just
all.
learn what other people think, and to
Yeah.
hear other people's stories, and help. If you are questioning, I definitely would like to help.
Yeah. This is
You
the
know,
place.
this is the place. Ask questions, and we
That's
would
kind of our
love,
motto, isn't it? Ask questions.
yeah, ask questions.
I still have questions. What
Me
about you?
too,
Yeah.
and I feel like I've come like a long way to be comfortable in myself and my beliefs from where I've been. And
Hmm. I can
I
relate to
don't
that as
didn't really
well.
have anyone to kind of go to, really. And so it just felt very weird and lonely. And so if anyone is questioning if I can help not make like whatever you're questioning and going through not as weird and lonely, then definitely that's what this community is for, you know.
Absolutely. No, I can relate to that, being lonely. When I was back in June, when I had caught COVID, I
Mhm.
was, obviously in a difficult place with my health, and I
Uh-huh.
wasn't hospitalized. I wasn't that bad, but I
But you
knew that I had to, yeah, I had to separate myself, and so I had to stay away from the family, and therefore, being away from the family, I had, this time to think and just, and it was actually therapeutic for me to, I guess, tackle some things that it's almost like the elephant in the living room. There's just the saying, like there's been things in the back of my head that about like Christianity, I just didn't quite face up to it and like meet it, you know, face to face. And so once I did, I it was a little uncomfortable. I didn't want to. I was in that place where like, oh crap, I'm either going to grow in my faith or I'm completely going to lose my faith or, you know, whatever. And
right.
so it was, yeah, I was literally scared because I just told myself, I'm going to do this. I'm going to cross that line that I've always told myself never to cross over. And so once I did, then I thought, wow, wait just a minute. I'm reading back in the Old Testament, Genesis. My logic tells me, man, it looks like Jesus would have been spelt out more in Genesis. I mean, this is just me thinking, okay? And so I looked through scriptures and I just didn't see where there was talk about Jesus. I feel like there's people that will cherry pick certain scriptures to make it form the narrative of Jesus, but it doesn't say Yeshua or, you know, Jesus the Christ. There's always these other terms, these words that they fill in, so it just didn't make much sense to me at all. And so I
Yeah,
briefly converted over to Judaism, and then that's a long story itself.
that's next time on Religious Detox. No, I've always admired Judaism.
Me too. Yeah, it's
Because when I was in the Christian faith, my main interest was actually Old Testament. I liked the Old Testament stuff more than the New Testament. That
the Pauline stuff.
what's it- the yeah, Paul, jeez,
Jeez.
and that's on another time. We'll have a whole Paul discussion.
Yes.
Um, and but I really enjoy the Old Testament. I actually taught the book of Exodus on a mission trip. Like
Really?
one summer. Yeah, I went to Haiti. We were there for almost a month. The first week we did a vacation Bible school, and then we did a seminary for like the next like week and a half, and we did like a revival one time, and so that was really interesting, preaching with a translator.
Yeah.
And so
Uh-huh.
it's like it made writing the sermon a little better. Like I got to cheat because I was like, all right, okay, so I got to speak for 10 minutes. And so the translator is going to be repeating what I'm saying. So I really only have to come up with about
Calculated
5 minutes of material. And so when I was when I was writing my lesson to go preach, I was accounting for the translator because I was like, okay, so that's going to eat up a good bit of time for it. but for the seminary part, like all the the different people had different books that we all taught from the Pentateuch, which is the first 5 books of the Bible, and I taught the book of Exodus. And so I mean I've forgotten most of what I tried very hard to forget a lot of the Christian beliefs and everything, but I used to know Old Testament scripture very well. I found it fascinating. The the ancient world. The like I mentioned before, like I like a lot of the judges. Those were very interesting, fun books, full of adventure and excitement, and there's espionage and will they won't they's. It's so yeah, I've always had a great deal of respect. To loop it back to to Judaism, I've had a great deal of respect for Judaism. Because I always looked at it as like the foundations for Christianity. Because Jesus was a Jew, for crying out loud.
He was.
Yeah.
I think a lot of Christians they don't have much of a background or foundation with Judaism. I don't think enough. So
I don't know.
It doesn't seem like the pieces fit together quite well when you don't have that history and the understanding of Judaism.
Right.
And I still don't know a whole lot about Judaism now.
I don't either. It's always fascinated me. And so that is something I've looked into. I've recently watched a couple of Judaism, like Jewish videos, like on Jewish faith. And I'm realizing there was a lot I didn't know. There's a lot I don't know. And there's a lot I want to learn.
Yeah. I contacted a local rabbi here.
Oh, nice.
Once I decided that I was going to dive into Judaism. But that's a story too.
Right. I thought about it until I heard you had to get recircumcised, like even if you were, and then I was like, I'm out. I don't believe that much.
We're not going to go there.
Oh no. Oh man. There's a friend of a friend who, because some practices, not necessarily Judaism, but there are some practices where they do circumcision as a teenager, like as part of a ritual for their religious practices. And a friend of a friend, he got circumcised when he was a teenager. It was very, very fascinating story. Like we were all hanging out at we're having a party, and they oh man, my friends make some they flavored moonshine, and so it oh man, it tasted just like apple pie. But anyway, like the dude, he was always like, he's like, yeah, the incident sucked. He was like, but I beat everybody at any party with the wildest story ever. He's like, people can talk about whatever they want, but I roll up in with the, like, I remember my circumcision story, and it trumps anything anyone else says for the rest of the night. And I'm like, yep. You are always going to be the most interesting person in the room. Uh,
That's, if you think about it, is a quite odd thing to do, to cut the
yeah.
foreskin for your religion. Why?
Yeah.
Because, wait, he created the foreskin, so therefore he demands to cut the foreskin. Hmm,
It's sus,
that's
bro.
strange. That's a little strange.
It's sus.
Hey, another thing to think about is he sacrificed himself to himself for himself. Just think about it. It's like blood magic. That
It
sounds like that's that's where
well,
Satanism borrowed from Christianity.
yeah. Well, I mean communion is ritualistic magic because everyone
Yeah, it
believes
is.
that they are
Right.
ingesting the blood and body of Christ. They are transmuting the the little wine and their crackers
Mm-hmm.
into the blood and body of Christ. And so that is a lot of what is in Christianity and things like it's rituals and spells, and I don't see it as different than the magic and witchcraft that Christianity condemns. Like I just
Yeah.
kind of look at it as Jesus magic,
Right.
and like all of the like a lot of the sacrifices in the Old Testament and everything like that. It's ritualistic blood magic.
It
It,
is.
it
Yeah.
it's
Spot on. Yeah. And so the basis, I think, of Christianity is forgiveness. So when you think about it, why would all this blood magic be necessary? Why can't God just forgive? Like,
right.
dude, just forgive.
It exactly. And
It's simple.
which is why I think that if Jesus is real, if
Mhm.
he is real,
Yeah,
he'd be so disappointed in organized religion. You know,
for sure.
he would because he said go worship. You don't need a place to worship. You don't need the synagogues and all that. Like you can worship with the trees and the rocks.
Hmm.
And I just think if he is real, he'd be super disappointed
Yeah,
in organized religion. Fact that it's a business. Because the only time he got mad, according to scripture, was in the temple
that's right. Yeah,
because
you
church
overthrown.
was a business, and that's the
Mhm.
only time he got mad. So how do you not think you would be furious with the way organized religion is today,
Right. Well,
with the tax incentives
you've got
and
pastors and preachers that are pushing Old Testament scriptures about tithing, and you know, which
yeah, it's.
you know,
I mean,
that's
it's
that
not that
goes in
you
their
you
pocket.
shouldn't tithe and help out people. I mean, like setting aside some money
Oh,
for the
yeah,
purpose of
great.
helping other people is a great idea.
It is.
And which is actually a problem I've run into with churches before too, because um, I I I I would wait, like I would dedicate my tithe to specific things,
Hmm.
you know, um,
And
like if a
that's
friend of mine needed to go on a mission trip, I would pay for it, because didn't necessarily belong to a church for like years, but I would still tithe
hmm
and and so I
yeah.
would
You
always
wanted that
have
blessing. You didn't want that curse to fall upon you, right?
right, right, and then it eventually got to a point, with well, rewind. And so because I did tithe, I would have money. I would, just pay for friends' mission trips here or there. Like the one of the last churches the last church I was a member at. I bought them. Like I replaced several speakers for the sound system in the auditorium. Um,
Oh, that's cool.
and so I would do stuff like that. But now, I don't, I don't tithe. Um, but I've also dealt with homelessness and other and
Yeah,
other lack of need. I realize like it kind of got to where it's like I kind of need the tithe. Like
hmm,
I need to give that 10% to myself to help out. But whenever, but that wasn't. But at the times that I do have extra, like I do help. Like I'll buy people. I mean, I'll buy dinner for homeless people, like because
yeah,
everyone in LA is homeless, and so, like when I was working and like a real job, like and I had a good bit of money coming in. Yeah, I would. I never minded. Like if I was pulling in to the drive-through at El Pollo Loco or something, it's a Mexican fast food
okay,
restaurant here. And if I saw someone, standing like asking for money, I would buy them dinner. I'd get one of whatever I was getting, and like frequently. So I do believe in paying it
good
forward
deed.
and
Yeah,
doing good deeds and helping people out. But send in the tithe to support the organization. I mean, it's the same thing with a lot of nonprofits. Like
yeah,
most of the money you give to them doesn't actually go to helping the people that you're trying to help.
it doesn't. We
It's
want to think it does, but
right
it's going. Yeah, there's
there.
a small
There are
percentage.
some that do. Like I think it was Barstool was setting up a fund for restaurants and small businesses that have been greatly impacted and by the current situation. And I don't think they're actually taking any money from it. They've got like some GoFundMe set up or something. But there
Oh,
are some people that are trying to do that. But yeah, it's once it gets too big, it doesn't work. And
no.
so,
Hey,
but
I
yeah,
think this is a good point to this point in time to mention. You and I both feel pretty confidently that there's things about Christianity that we really can embrace and respect,
right.
like morals, like doing good
Exactly.
deeds. Like you just mentioned, hey, what's wrong with giving something to someone or,
Right.
to benefit another person? I'm all over that. I think it's a great idea.
Yes.
And I think we
And
all should practice,
the
those types of things.
the biggest one for us that we want to do is from Christianity is fellowship
Sure.
is the biggest tenet, which is why
Yeah.
we're doing we want to have the religious detox fellowship,
Department.
you know, and uh, because we enjoy that tenet of Christianity, which is coming together and
It's
holding each other accountable, not in a like don't do this type of, but just like mental health checks and
yeah,
talks, and like how you doing, accountability, not any judgment like for that word, but yes, the
absolutely.
fellowship.
Like a
and
support group kind of.
and so yeah, and we want to actually cultivate and spread out, the religious detox fellowship community and spread the friendship and the fellowship that we have together with you guys.
Well stated. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
And so guys, leave comments. I think this is, good place to wrap it up with
Sounds
the
good.
Religious Detox Fellowship. Just leave comments. Um, connect with us on any of the social medias. We are at Religious Detox on all of our social media. So come find us. Leave a comment on this video wherever you're watching it, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or listening to it on the podcast network. Just please join in.
Please. Thanks for joining us, guys. My name
Thanks
is
a lot.
John.
And I'm Ryan. Have a good day, guys.